Do these guys look like professionals to you? We're the only real professionals in all of damn America tonight!
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Leongs, the Professional Wrestling Podcast.
All right, yes. Bow, bow, bow. I don't have a soundboard. Gunshot, explode.
Diamante,
Diamante.
Arn Anderson.
Funkmaster Flesh explosion.
What's up, everybody? I'm Lawson Leong, aka Lawson Phoenix, aka Law Dog, aka The Perfect Shade of Brown, and with me is America's Sweetheart, FKA America's Sweetheart, taking back America's Sweetheart.
Taking
once
it back.
Again, KRL.
That's
Katie
me.
Rose
America's Jewish sweetheart.
The Jap that runs the world. Katie, were you ever called a Jap growing up?
Yes, I was just gonna say, I don't know if people who aren't from New York know what that is and think we just said a different kind of racial slur.
Yeah.
Jewish American princess was a very common thing when I was growing up, and I didn't even know that was a racial slur for Japanese people until I was an adult.
Yeah.
So, sorry about that. I'm performed one if you think about it, because my family is not rich anymore. There was
beautiful.
We had 4 years in the 90s, and then it just went to shit.
What do they call that? It's not old money, it's not new money. It's temporary money.
Temporary money.
It's called? Tempo money. I built a tempo money deck in Magic the Gathering. Anyway, so Katie, another weeks of the Pro-Graps here.
Yeah.
G1 is in the rear view. We look ahead to Wembley, and then right after that is fucking All Out. What the fuck is AEW doing? This is crazy.
Love AEW, but they do this thing where they seem to put two major pay-per-views a week apart, and I don't know why that is.
It's insanity at the highest level. Wembley, All In Wembley 2023 is officially the biggest pro wrestling show in history. 80,000 plus sold.
Really?
And yes, 80,800.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's kind of nuts.
It's bananas, Katie. In our own time, here, 2023.
Man, Vince McMahon must be shitting a brick right now.
I hope he is. I hope it's hard, and I hope it's hard.
Get
his
me
asshole
that
coming
con
out.
kid's head on a pike! I can't. I have to wear these stupid things because I lost my earbud, so I can't shake my head fast enough
Violently.
to do the full Vince McMahon. You need the jowl movement, and I
the
can't.
jowls. Hunter!
Yeah.
Bring me TK's head on a spike. Katie, this is the biggest show in the history of pro wrestling, and I gotta be honest with you, it doesn't quite feel like it.
No.
Now, we'll go over the card, but yeah.
The way it's being... So, AEW is really interesting, because they do this thing that I'm sure you noticed, that, they do the big pay-per-views, but they also sometimes just, have a show during the week that they give a funny name. And, they'll be oh, it's our regular show, but then this is, the special funny show this week, right? Fighter Fest or whatever.
Fighter Fest, Fight for the Fallen.
And,
Winter's coming.
The Wembley show is a huge deal. But the way it's kind of being handled feels like it's just a funny weekday show. And I'm no, it's the biggest wrestling show in the world.
Show ever? Yeah. Yeah, it's Winter's coming, and so am I, Katie. That's for sure.
And don't get me wrong. I'm excited for it. And as all things when we talk about AEW, it's always just I know you have it in you, champ. You're so special.
Yeah.
Just give me it all. And sometimes they didn't take their Adderall, and I get it, because, like, neither did I, and that's why I'm drinking Diet Coke and wearing giant cans on my head right now.
Katie Rose with the can headphones. Can you can? Is that commercial too old? Is that a dated commercial now?
Oh yeah, we're old as fuck.
With the drawings of the people dancing for the anyway.
Yeah.
Millennial commercials, everybody. These Zoomers don't know about that commercial.
Your kids don't know anything about the Food Emporium jingle.
Here's a quick tangent. Are Zoomers post-commercial? Because everything's online. Do they have commercials?
They do,
anymore?
but I think
Is it all Super Bowl commercials?
I think they experience advertising differently because a lot of them are, like, terrestrial television is not as much as a thing, so I think it's all, like, like streaming
digital ads?
Which is interesting, because with, this is a whole non-thing, but, like, with most people watching streaming, does that mean it's the death of the regional commercial, like local commercials?
Right.
You know what I mean? Where it's just like someone like, come to Dave's Petland discount. They won't let me franchise with Petland discount anymore, so it's just Dave's Petland discount between the Taco Bell and the better Taco Bell on, Sunset Boulevard. Like, I don't know if that exists anymore.
Come to Dave's Petland discount. Martha took the kids, please. It's all I have left. Please come. It's all I have.
Please, for the love of God. That's like...
Martha, if you're listening, please, let me see them on the weekends.
As a Mets fan, that's what all sports radio sounds like, by the way.
And the 1-2 pitch. Haven't seen my son in years.
Yeah, basically.
Every time I blink, he's 5 years older. So, alright, that's the end of that tangent. Okay. Moving on. So, Wembley's coming, Katie.
Wembley's coming.
I don't know what people want from me as a content creator.
I don't know either.
Stay on topic?
That's why I love this show specifically, because you put so little pressure on me to do anything correctly. You're just like, know a wrestler, show up on time. Yeah. I'm like, great, let's go.
Listen, I can't. I'm Vince McMahon. I'm not gonna ask you to do anything more than I would do. Which in this case is having watched some wrestling and showing up around this time.
I like him, he's big. Make him fight the other big one this week on Collision.
I hope the handsome guy becomes friends with the other handsome guy. I'll be sad if they're not friends in a month. So, handsome guys should be friends.
Wembley.
Wembley, right.
I can't keep track. They're doing a bad job of letting me know what's happening.
Yeah. So, part of it, the weird thing is All Out.
Yeah.
The show a week later in Chicago, which was like one of their biggest shows of the year every year.
Yeah, it's like the WrestleMania.
Yeah, it's gonna have like a non-existent build. The only match they've built towards is Darby versus Luchasaurus.
Confused at first. I was like, is Wembley All Out? And then I was like, oh, no, it's a different show.
It's All In. It's All In.
I'm sorry.
Then a week after is All Out. Don't apologize. They did this. I'm not blaming you. they were like, hey,
Tony,
it's
I'm
all
dyslexic.
And it's all out.
You can't do this.
What's confusing about this? We're doing All In, then we're doing All Out a week later. Who could mix that up? Who could possibly mix that up?
Okay.
Only a dyslexic person. Whoa,
this
TK.
Makes me feel better because I was like, am I going crazy? Aren't they the same show?
No, you're not going crazy. My friend who I watch wrestling with every week asked me this. They were like, wait, when is All Out? I'm like, September. It's like, wait, no, isn't it next week? I'm like, that's All In. I've had to tell this to people multiple times.
This makes me feel a lot better, actually.
Yeah. He's not even dyslexic as far as I know. But anyway, so we have a card.
Okay.
It's a good card. Like, if this wasn't the biggest show of all time, I'd be like, oh, it's a pretty good card. But it's not even as cool of a card as Forbidden Door was. if I'm being honest.
Well, to be fair, Forbidden Door was everything and more.
Yeah, well, it truly was.
Like, that was Christmas,
everything.
baby. Like,
It really, man, my heart sang. I remember the weeks leading up to Forbidden Door, I was just like, God damn, I can't believe we're gonna get this. We're really gonna get this.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
So, I mean, AEW has the best kind of curse, which is like they put on too good of a show, which is like it's hard to be mad about, you know?
Greatness, yes, truly, it's the curse of being held to a high standard. And so, what's a great example of this? Since there was like a whole hullabaloo made over the Texas Chainsaw Death match of Jeff Jarrett versus Jeff Hardy. I love Katie's reaction to this, but it's like a bunch of people were like, "Can you believe Tony Khan allowed this to air on television?" I'm like, it wasn't that bad.
I loved it. They've
done worse. Yeah,
stupid,
it was.
But I loved
it was dumb as fuck.
Like, I'm not saying it was good, but I was sports entertained. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
and I think a lot of people forget what's the best thing about professional wrestling on television, and that it's stupid.
Yeah.
That was truly a stupid match.
Look, I always say pro wrestling is at its best when it's fun. As long as it's fun, just, it's not that big a deal. It's people
also,
pretending to fight.
It's kind of like watching comedy sometimes, where it's like, you can have someone who's a really amazing performer or something that just goes so off the rails that you kind of don't care that it's not good anymore, because you're just on the edge of your seat. And like, that's kind of how I felt about that, where I'm like, well, what's gonna happen next?
So I was talking to my friend about how Bill Hicks never got like a great like stand-up special of like a recording of him like doing stand-up to, I think, the best of his abilities. And my friend brought up this one like, bootleg recording of Bill Hicks just freaking out at an audience member. And I'm like, yeah, that's the best film of Bill Hicks that there's ever been. It's just him yelling at somebody angrily.
I guess we should.
I'm a dark poet.
We should describe what this match was, so people like really understand why people were. Freaking out.
It was an ad for a video game, and AEW got paid
based off, which is a traditional wrestling thing to do. It's like you need to
segment.
Wrestling is lucrative, but at the end of the day, it's not football or the Big Bang Theory. So you gotta make money, and there's always tie-ins, and they're always horrible, and it's so funny. And so they're making a Texas Chainsaw video game, because I was really confused, because I'm like, this is a movie from the 70s, a classic, don't get me wrong, but what's going on here? And they literally had what's-his-face?
Leatherface.
Yes, well, no, I was going to say Leatherface, but which one? One of the Hardys, dragged by his hair.
Oh, Jeff Hardy.
Which, Jeff Hardy is basically the human embodiment of a 90s Spencer at a strip mall. So he was psyched to get dragged by Leatherface. He probably was like, hell yeah, this is my dream come true.
Drag him, King.
It's just funny too, because Leatherface is not a particularly athletic slasher. He's not a Freddy Krueger who's jumping around, or a ghost face who's always having to hide and stuff. He just kind of he just has a shitty family.
He's a chainsaw.
And don't we all?
He wears people's faces.
Yeah.
And he has a chainsaw.
But anyway, people were mad, and I'm just like, no, this is just right.
It's just, even if you absolutely hated it and you thought it was the worst thing, it was one segment.
Right. They don't,
AEW did
it doesn't happen often with AEW. They hardly ever do stuff like that. And you know what?
Pretty much never.
That's pretty impressive considering how much pure programming they're putting on a week.
Yes.
They put on 3 shows a week right now. Yeah. That's insane.
And they're actually pretty good.
Anyway.
Even Rampage is good now. Collision's just good.
I'm sorry, we went on a total tangent, but
no. This is the episode for that because we obviously
we don't have a ton to talk about this.
We don't have that much to say. There's not that much going on until next week. We can review Wembley and preview All Out, so that's going to be a full show.
Yeah,
but this week is a little bit lighter on the schedule. I just to pull back the curtain in my show notes, I wrote.
Lawson is
cunts.
Okay. First of all, okay. Lawson's amazing because he knows I'm ADD, so he makes me a document every week about what we're going to talk about. It's usually extensive and filled with like links to shows and stuff. So when I just saw 3 short sentences, I was confused. Now, please read it once again. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. So basically, the first Wembley preview.
Yes.
Second, CM cunts and the drama around CM Punk. And thirdly, the Cash Wheeler drama, aka no fist, just firearms.
Fire the revolver, more like.
Flash the rifle, baby. Pew, pew.
Pew, pew.
So I don't know if there's that much more to say about. Well, you know, we'll circle around back to Cash later, but that story is kind of Well, let's tie that. Actually, you know what? Let's tie that into Wembley here. So we have FTR and the Bucks.
Right. I mean, as far as I know, it's still happening.
It looks like it is. It looks like it's still happening.
Yeah. So Cash Wheeler, one half of FTR, Mr. Follow the Rules. Honestly, not the person I had this pinned on, but he got arrested this week because well, at first it just said assault with a firearm, but it turns out he got arrested for what I consider to be a pretty standard wrestler move.
Behavior.
Which is being a dumbass, which I don't know the exact details, but like he felt threatened in his car, right? So he's like, don't touch me, and like flashed his gun is what I'm to understand.
Yes, he flashed it.
Right.
Cool. All cool movie style, probably.
Right. He's also from the South. And has a mullet, and like I also have a mullet, but mine's like a little gayer than his, you know? Like, it's just like, it's dumbass behavior, but it's funny because it's from the most righteous tag team in the division. So. Yeah.
No, and, I mean, you know, Cash Wheeler famously beat up the guy who jumped Bret Hart at the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So, you know, he'll get down.
He's a firecracker.
Yeah, he'll get down.
And honestly, I like Cash. I don't mind him. But I was shocked because, you know, when I just saw assault with firearm, I was like, there's like a bunch of dudes I was going to put higher on this list before Cash if you're going to do wrestler gonna crack bingo. But when I read the description, I was like, yeah, seems about right.
Yeah.
I bet this shit happens all the time with these guys, to be honest. I think he just got caught. Like, you know, if I'm gonna be real.
Yeah, no, you're probably that's very probably true. Yeah.
Just is what it is.
It is what it is. Apparently, what I found out was that apparently the incident happened in late July.
Oh, so it must have like, you know how quick the law is, so I'm sure like the paperwork or whatever just got filed. Sure,
but I think so, but then also I think the timeline, if you look at the timeline, so originally there was a different plan for the Bucks at Wembley, and I'm not going to go into the whole thing. It doesn't matter really now, but the card's been shuffled around, and they announced the Bucks versus FTR. Now, this announcement was after the incident happened in July, which makes me think, using my detective skills, that FTR is going to lose at Wembley. I'm sorry, everybody. Sorry for all the FTR fans. But I think Tony is shifting the titles onto the Bucks.
I mean,
at Wembley.
It wouldn't be
not like as a direct punishment, but as like you kind of fucked up. You gotta drop these titles now.
I don't think it's a terrible idea from a storytelling standpoint, anyway, because the Bucks kind of need something to get going again. And it is like you know, that would be like a shocking shakeup. Like that would be exciting to watch, and they have a cool match. And make it feel more special in a way. Because I feel like if FTR retained, you'd be like, well, of course. that's
course,
it's
yeah.
another day on.
I think we all expected them to retain before the story, so.
But I don't know, because sometimes AEW swerves me, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say I 75% agree with you, but I'm open to being wrong.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not for sure either. I just think before I was trying to like do the math on it.
I just
like
like
the July thing.
when it first got announced that he got like this like report filed against him, my first thought was like, can this company just have somebody succeed, please? But
Yeah, I know. It's just,
but like now
can
that
they be more snake bit? Yeah.
but that makes
We
me
lose
feel
Jamie
it
Hayter,
doesn't
lost
seem as
Danielson.
bad as it could have been. So
Yeah.
I also
Yeah, at least we're still getting the
appreciate
match.
they did the move that if anyone ever wants to start a fight with me on any of my podcasts, which is you just don't talk about it until it goes away. So nice try, haters. Try and catch me. I'll just block you. Don't give a fuck.
Yeah. Exactly. And so I think that the Bucks and FTR will be a great match. That's one of the things I'm looking forward to most on the show.
I think
For sure. Adam Cole and MJF. Now
Yes.
this week they did something a little interesting. They put a little spice on this. Just a dab of spice on the segment here. We still had a fun, goofy segment with them, where they double clotheslines an employee, and then they got chewed out by Tony Khan in his greatest performance to date.
Yeah,
yelling
someone
behind
coached
closed
him.
door, Tony Khan. Yelling behind closed door, Tony Khan, the best Tony Khan. So, and then they had like these really heated promos where they both said they're gonna win. So
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, they may be friends, but they're both egomaniacs who don't like to back down. It's anyone's game.
They've got to be number one. I still predict MJF to retain here, and I don't know if they're going to end the feud here either. Or not, I mean, feud friendship. End the story. Yeah.
If they're smart, they would stretch it out more, I would think. Because Adam Cole can take a defeat, but MJF's character can't. So that would totally make sense.
Yeah.
I want more Roddy acting. That's all I want.
Yes, Roddy. Well, that's the other thing. Could be a big swerve here. Roddy could turn out to, he could turn on Adam Cole. He could help Cole win the title. Big swerve.
Right, because there's that thing
knows?
where they have to do a tag team first and then do the title match. So.
Right. Yeah.
All sorts of hijinks. I just, that era of NXT when it was Adam Cole and all his boys.
Undisputed.
That shit was so good. And even seeing a glimpse of that for 2 seconds made me be like, damn, this is lit. Because they're not afraid to be silly. I don't know.
Yeah, I told my friend that everything in pro wrestling is AEW canon. But that also includes Lucha Underground, where Matanza eats a bunch of people. That's canon. In AEW canon, there was a wrestler who ate people named Matanza.
I love it. So we've talked about this a little bit, but like Lucha Underground was my favorite attempt at a wrestling show ever. It wasn't always successful, but it was exactly what I wanted because they had actual like dramatized segments, and I'm pretty sure Robert Rodriguez produced the first season or something.
Yeah, I think he did, yeah.
And we saw a little glimpse of that on Collision this week where...
Oh, yeah, let's just get into this.
Two people, which wrestler was that?
Tristan Vance and Drolistico.
Yeah, in their full lucha gears, go to Mexico. There's like a whole sequence of them partying and at one point he takes off his mask to reveal a second mask, which God, I love lucha dumbassery. It really speaks to me.
Yeah, dumb lucha shit.
And then it's because Roosh called Jose, the assistant, on the phone, and he's like, "Do what you gotta do."
Yeah.
They kidnap. What's his face?
Preston Vance and Drolistico.
Yeah, they kidnap them off the street of Mexico with ninjas.
Correct. Yes, Preston Vance and Drew
And then they don't
were...
address it for the rest of the show. But I was just like, wow, they finally are giving me what I want fully.
Yeah. Katie, I'm sure nobody was watching Impact during this time, or TNA, as it was called. But were you aware of the Samoa Joe kidnapped by ninjas segment?
Yes,
The
I
infamous.
am, because
Yes.
people have educated me. I wasn't watching at the time, but I'm a big enough Joe fan that at some point people have shown me Samoa Joe kidnapped by ninjas.
It's one of those things. And the greatest thing about the Samoa Joe thing was that it was not followed up on at all.
Yeah, no,
They just took him off TV for a month. Then he came back, no explanation. And TNA, everybody, yeah!
The AEW segment's funnier, though, because these guys aren't on TV regularly, so it's like...
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Mid-Carters have been kidnapped. Who kidnapped our prelim guys? Ninjas? Mexican ninjas. Oh, no.
Oh,
My
no.
favorite kind of ninjas.
Honestly, let's go.
Well, yeah, so I guess they're going into a anime-style training arc off-screen.
Yeah.
And they're gonna come back...
Hokage.
Probably still mid-Carters, let's be honest. I don't really know where this is gonna go. Just because Rouge makes a phone call doesn't mean they're gonna push Preston Vance and Dralistico. But yeah, maybe they will. What the fuck do I know?
Yeah.
So... that was actually the most exciting thing on Collision this week.
I know,
this was a slower Collision.
I thought
this
something
week.
lit was going to happen when it opened that way. And then they're
Yeah.
like, and maybe not.
Darby and Christian was a good match. Good main event. Outside of that, well, yeah, Punk accepted Joe's challenge, so we can talk about that as well. That's happening at Wembley. Officially, Samoa Joe versus CM Punk.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest with you, Katie. CM Punk, let's just take the drama aside for a second. I'm not gonna get into that now. But CM Punk in his singles matches has not impressed me.
No.
I'm not looking super
not
forward to this
looking-
match.
I know we dunk on him a lot. I do specifically. I specifically have made it clear I don't like him, but like taking that stuff out of there, I really he's giving me the feeling that God, everyone's name's forgetting me.
Kenta?
Yes, he's giving me Kenta vibes. Like he seems like physically checked out of his singles matches to me. I don't know. Maybe
I don't know if he's as checked out as Kenta, but he seems
like maybe he's
lost
like
a step.
I think he like switched his anxiety meds or something. Like I'm not even joking. Like this is like the vibe I'm getting. Like what's going on, bro?
Okay, remember the first match he came back in the trios match, and we said it here that this man he had a year to come back, and he just showed up in these pants that were just like gym pants. Like,
Offensive.
You're the biggest star on this show.
Offensive. And I
and
get
you're
that
wearing, like
listen,
I'm not even...
bro, I come from the subculture of no sleeves, black jean type Pokemon, family, let's go. Like, I know that life, you know how many straight edge vegan psychos I know? So I get it. You want to look like a dirtbag. But, there's a way to do it. With Flair,
Sure.
you
Yes.
are the biggest star on this roster. I would say you're bigger than Kenny in some ways. Because,
Definitely on Collision,
by,
he's the biggest
Western
star.
standards, you're, the most famous person besides Jericho on the bill. And it's like, wear a fucking button fly, bitch. What are you doing?
Where do you, I just couldn't believe, after all that time, that's his first impression he's making. This man knows what he's doing. He knows how to be a star. He did it for decades. I don't understand. And
you're not the McMahons anymore.
Right.
They gave you every... Oh, I'm gonna do the rant again. I can't. They gave you everything. They're giving you everything you want. Put on some pants.
I'll say it.
Shave and put on some pants.
I'll say it again. It's a recording video this time, Katie, and I'm gonna again say, CM Punk.
Yes.
He became what he hated. Mm-hmm. He has become the John Cena that he mocked a decade ago. He said to Cena, "You've become what you hate. You're the franchise. The champ is here. That's you now, CM.
Yeah. This John
Mr.
Cena has a
Hangman
sense of
never-
humor.
And then this fucker is coming in here with his boring ass singles matches, and then he cuts his promo on Hangman after Collision.
Okay, so can you catch me up on this? Because I actually don't know what happened. I just
totally cool.
saw CM cut in the notes, and I was like, oh, drop the theme song to Keenan and Kel here. Oh, here it goes. Like,
yeah. So there's a couple things. Last two collisions ago, after the show went off the air, CM Punk cut a promo to the live crowd, but there were still cameras on.
Yeah,
different people got it. About how Hangman isn't. Somebody like in the crowd said, "We love Hangman" or whatever, cowboy shit, and CM Punk's like, "Oh yeah, you know what? Hangman doesn't sell toys. I sell toys." You go to the market, you see a bunch of Hangman dolls in the store. You know why? Because no one's buying them. And
is he self-aware? Because that's a heel promo. That's a classic heel move to be like, I sell merch. And also, children love a cowboy. Are you kidding me right now?
I don't know about whether his claims are true. Even if they are true, basically what happened was the live crowd took it poorly. The promo bombed, actually.
Yeah, of course it did.
And later Punk, allegedly, according to my sources, he did apologize.
Okay.
To Hangman in a text or whatever. Because he didn't want it to be... He fucked up. He basically said, I was trying to build a feud, like an actual kayfabe feud, but I turned it into like a shoot, like a worked shoot. And that's not what he was actually going for. That's what he says.
His manager or something,
Katie.
I'd be shitting bricks constantly. I'd be like, Phil, no talking without talking to me first. I don't want any interviews. I don't want any press, no paper, no Instagram posts. You give me your phone, you get one of these children's phones that only have 911 and your mother's phone number on it. That's all you get to do, Phil.
Yeah. And,
he really is, to quote American rock and roll band lit, his own worst enemy. Because, like,
yes.
I can see how he thought I can see what he thought he was doing.
Yeah.
But he forgets that everybody hates him.
He also, like, again, fought Hangman's friends who started the company, and that two of them won't talk to him ever again.
Who seem like hard people to piss off, if I'm to be honest.
I mean, to that degree, at least.
They're Mormons.
Like, they won't work with
from
them.
from from California, like literal beach trash. Yeah. They're like the textbooks of like harmless himbos. So like to get the Bucks to physically fight someone and not be doing flippies, kickies, like
Well, I'll say this about the Bucks. They're not perfect human beings by any stretch. I'm not saying
no.
I've never said we're not Bucks stands or whatever. We're not here being
I like them. I also think
no wrong.
I think all wrestlers are like mentally ill. Like
sure.
I want to make that clear. My standpoint at the end of the day is all these people are horribly flawed, have their chemicals completely wrong, all need a massive intervention. So like I'm not one of these people to put anyone on a pedestal. You know what I mean? I want to make that clear.
Absolutely.
Also, I am traumatized from the great wrestling clearinghouse sale of like 2020. where the internet said everyone must go.
Everyone must go. Hey, the UK called. We're shipping them all back. Get them out of here. Get them all out.
Yep, time to go. Visa's up. Back to your mud hovel over in Brighton or whatever. Like,
hey, Progress, your roster called. They're all being shipped out.
You know what?
There they go.
In Progress's defense, it's also where I saw my husband Chris Brooks for the first time. And he,
hey,
so far seems fine.
Yep, TK Cooper's still, he's still there.
Yeah, a couple of them made it
cool.
out, but like
a couple of them, sure.
I also saw Brody on a Progress show for the first time. At La Boom.
King. Brody King.
Brody King.
Oh, yeah. We were at that show. The one with Eddie Kingston.
Yeah, there was like a few people there that were lit. Yeah, I'm just saying, there was like 2 minutes when Progress was exciting before they were like, oops.
Yes. Yeah.
Oops, all predators. Send them back.
Yeah. It's actually kind of amazing. So, like, Will Ospreay did have that one thing where, like, it wasn't like an abuse case. It was like a abuse of power case, maybe. But all of his friends got picked off. Everyone around him just got like pew 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 laser struck. It's like you can't really watch a Will Ospreay match before 2019 in the UK because everyone he wrestled.
Like so many of those guys start so young that it's like you can't fault Will Ospreay because it's like, I'm from Long Island. There's a lot of people I knew at that age I don't talk to anymore. Goddamn.
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's funny, though, because we had our own version of this in comedy, Katie, as well.
Oh.
Around the same time.
I'm gonna brag, but I was ahead of the curve, okay?
I feel like I was behind most women on it, to be fair.
No, you're not. I'm not worried about you. I'm just saying that I left Portland, Oregon in 2016, and while it was mostly because I wanted to move back home, it was also because I got sick of doing that shit by myself. So, it is what it is. And now I just do this. And that's fine. I'm old now. I'm tired. You guys want to fucking muck around with mentally ill people? That's on you.
Yeah. No, that was, eye-opener for your boy. But anyway, to a happier subject in time. No, it's okay. It's fine. All right. It has I'm a straight man. I got off easy compared to a lot of other people.
Also, like, that was so long ago for me. I'm like a whole different person now with a different set of priorities. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, it's fine. It is what it is.
But so with all those things, what was the original thing we were talking about?
I don't know.
I don't know. CM Punk. So, the other thing that happened.
Oh, we were talking about the Bucks. And
there's more. Yeah. Right. So the Bucks. Right. They're not perfect people. I hate that they go on early in the shows when they're going to steal the show. It's annoying. I hate when they do that. But so the CM Punk also sent home people from Collision, including Hangman, Matt Hardy, and Christopher Daniels. The latter, and also Ryan Nemeth. Dolph Ziggler.
Chris Daniels?
Right. Apparently, they all hate him.
Chris, you pissed off Chris Daniels? CM Punk? Wow.
Daniels loves the Bucks.
I'm just saying,
They're boys.
He fucked up if you got that guy, man. That guy is just happy to be here. He's America's comic book father with his stupid...
Head of talent relations. Chris Daniels.
Damn, you pissed off HR, Punk. You literally pissed off HR.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, apparently, to be fair, I'm trying to be fair to Punk here, because I also think he's an asshole. But what happened was, like, these guys were, like, booked for the show, and CM Punk was worried that their hatred of him would lead to problems. So he just asked them, well, not asked, he told them to leave the building and didn't have them on the shows. Now, this feels like a weird, because Tony Khan is still in charge of all this, but Punk is wielding a amount of power where he can tell people to fuck off.
Wow. I knew he had like a big hand in that show, but that's
pretty big.
Crazy.
It's pretty big.
It's
kind of wild. It's kind of wild.
Is there any precedent for that? Like,
I think so. I don't think it's unprecedented.
Okay.
I think, like, top stars historically, at least in the modern era,
like, I guess, like,
this amount of power is, like, not that weird, I think.
Okay.
But
like, Roman Reigns probably could tell someone to fuck off.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think the difference is, Punk has been, Punk is coming back from fighting his actual bosses in a fist fight. After he said, if you have a problem with me, come see me. And then he loosed hands for Summer. B, his whole public persona is, hey guys, let's just get along.
That's what I was saying last week with the t-shirts, bro.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. I don't trust anyone who's like, oh, let's go get along. I'm Mr. Union. Okay, you know who's Union Strong, by the way? Eddie fucking Kingston, who came out in that Iron Worker shirt once. Mr. High Viz King himself. You know Eddie Kingston has personally put that inflatable rat in front of a work site before, okay? But anyway, I'm just saying, like, I can smell...
Long Island Katie came out there.
Yeah, sorry.
By the way. I love it. It's great every
I
time.
can't stand fake ally bullshit. I just rather you be a dick. I would rather you be just a straight up asshole, because at least I know who you are. Like, and that's what my problem with Punk. If Punk just went like full dickhead with this on like his persona, then I'd be like, fine, we know who you are.
Yeah,
but it's just
but to come out here with the Allies shirts and then being like, "Hey, I want to work with I want to mend these fences, guys. I know that I said to come talk to me, and then loose fucking hands, and my best friend bit your friend in the face."
This is also crazy too, because I was like kind of joking that Collision was made just for him, but I guess like it literally was.
I think what happened was Tony Khan did that, and now CM Punk has like taken it, like he's become rah, this is my shit now. He's planted his flag. He's like, this is it now. I'm a collider. You a collider? We're colliders, baby. Yeah, that's like his thing.
Okay with that, but like not for the detriment of storylines, bro. Like,
I mean, I'm with you. Listen. It's hard for me to imagine that we could come so close to a CM Punk Kenny Omega match and not get it because of some bullshit like this. But that's the world we're living in right now. Omega seems more open to working with Punk than the Bucks, but he's not going to do it if the Punks don't forget, because he's a loyal guy still.
He's loyal, but also, like, if Punk is this unhinged, like, I can see being nervous to work with him because of, like, the possibility of, like, a stiff receipt or something that is on.
It's ironic, because Punk said he was worried about Hangman shooting on him or whatever.
Well,
I was like, you know what you should have been worried about, bro? Landing those buckshot lariats. Maybe you should have been worried about that, Phil. First of all, fuck the buckshot lariat. This man can't even give Samoa Joe a proper go to sleep. Did you see that shit? It was dog shit, bro. It was a dog shit go to sleep. I don't. You're wearing conquistador pants or whatever. Wear more flexible pants then. You're a fucking star.
Just saying,
Anyway.
I've always wanted to fight my coworkers, but you know, I just put my head down and I do the work.
Throw hands. Loose them hands,
There are
Katie.
people in the fucking, like, late 80s, early 90s who, like, stabbed each other and then went to fight in the ring and then they just went home. Like,
yes.
hit each other with their cars and shit. And I'm not joking. Like, I mean that literally.
Pro wrestling was wild, people. If you are new to the show, you're new to pro wrestling. Man, did it used to be wild.
Like, literally just lawless and methed up. Like,
Yeah. Cocaine was a hell of a drug, as the legend said. It was people, and just like wild rampant, taking of steroids and shit.
Just
whatever
saying,
steroids
like,
were back then. But yeah.
You know, if like Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart could keep it going as long as they did, you can fucking work with a couple sober Mormons. You know what I mean? Like, you can just suck it up.
They're Christian AF. You're straight edge. I don't know. Figure it out, man. I don't know what to...
There's an overlap there somewhere.
Hangman, to his credit, has been very, like, you know, he hasn't said shit about any of this.
Yeah.
And honestly, the Bucks have not been.
And I would like to say,
really, but...
Hangman has done more for trans rights, for dunking on Kane publicly every time he comes out the gate saying shit, than wearing a t-shirt with his logo on it or nothing. So.
Yeah, those Hangman tweets on Kane were savage. Almost like, yeah, one of some of the best things Twitter ever produced, honestly. With those
Truly.
Hangman
Put them in a
Kane
museum.
Tweets. Yeah, hang them in the Twitter museum after they shut the fucking thing down.
I wish they would. I really wish they would.
Oh god, every day.
Follow
I think
me.
I was telling Patak this like a couple. I feel like I got out at the right time.
You really
I got out
did.
right on time.
You
I think.
really did. I have stuck around too long because I don't know where to put my little jokes because like not enough people are following me on Blue Sky and I don't like Threads, but it's like a girl's got a quip.
We gotta give the show a TikTok, Katie. Speak to the kids. We gotta reach these kids.
Go on.
The face you made.
Don't make me do
That was
it.
visceral.
That
was a visceral reaction.
I don't want to dance.
Yeah. I don't want to dance.
Don't make me dance.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I also don't want to dance.
Don't
so
make
actually,
me sit in a couch that's too low with a coffee table and a fake plant in the middle where we're like, man, you see this crazy shit? Did you see this? And they're all like this low. They're all like, yo, you see this? I hate it so much. Fuck. Is that what kids thinking?
Fuck. Every time my younger friends like share a TikTok with me, I don't know. I get like a couple of them will be funny.
Yeah,
And every now and like
hate it at large. It's just like not for me.
Yeah, I feel. I will say it's like the thing that makes me feel the oldest is people sharing TikToks that they're like, "This is so fucking great," and I'm just like, "All right." Anyway, so that's the drama with Mr. Phil Brooks and Cash Wheeler.
I had no idea it was so deep. Like,
yeah,
because I've unfollowed most of like wrestling drama internet, so like I didn't know.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Damn.
Fun times.
You know what? It's nice though, because I can be a little bit of a hater, and like when I get hyper focused on something, I'll just hate it for no reason. But it's really nice of CM Punk to reconfirm over and over again that he is a bitch, and I am correct for disliking him. Every time I'm like, you know what? People love him, and just because I don't like him, he's like, no, actually, I'm a petty bitch, and I suck. And I'm like, thank you. Okay.
He's here. Your confirmation bias is here, Katie Rose, and his name is Mr. Phil Brooks.
Yeah, he's so good.
Put a fucking big CM on his fucking chest. He's here to fucking be a petty bitch.
Truly.
Wembley Stadium.
Okay.
So we talked about Adam Cole and MJF main event a little bit, but what's really interesting to me, this is it called the buy-in? What is it called? It's called the buy-in, the pre-show.
When they do that like battle royale thing,
or just like whatever their match with Aussie Open. The pre-show, the buy-in or whatever, what have you. This is the biggest buy-in match they've ever done by far. It's really interesting having MJF and Adam Cole.
Yeah.
The biggest act be on the buy-in. Also a huge spot for our boys, Aussie Open.
Yeah, good for them.
Spot for them. Yeah.
They're pretty cute.
Yeah. Love, I mean, I've watched that Cal Fletcher grow up right before my very eyes.
I kind of feel like this is going to be used to set something up, though. Like, I feel like the match isn't really going to happen. You know what I'm saying?
It might be like 3/4 of a match, 1/4 of an angle type of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you there. But yeah, still a big spot for the Aussie boys, who kind of like, when you look back on, like, they are technically signed to AEW. Because they were working New Japan without a contract.
That's true.
So,
well, don't they have the Ring of Honor belts or something?
Exactly, right.
Yeah,
so TK signed them. As soon as Mark Davis was healthy, he belted them up immediately on that ROH show. And it was all to lead them here, because they're very over in the UK. They came up there, and they're going to be very over in that building.
That's cool. I'm excited to see that kind of stuff, because one thing I do miss about pre-UK meltdown is UK crowds are lit. They're lit.
Yeah.
It's like all the energy of soccer hooligans, but they're nerds.
Right. Yeah. It's going to be great. It's going to be a once-in-a-lifetime atmosphere, for sure. And So, do you think Aussie Open wins here?
Like I
Katie
said, I
Rose?
think there's gonna be some weird angle. I don't think
Okay.
I think there's gonna be like a DQ or something. You know what I mean? Like I
Okay.
don't think there's gonna be any sort of clean finish
Sure.
to this. I would love for them
On a
to
scale,
win.
yeah.
I just don't see a world where some shit doesn't happen.
Yeah. Let's do the scale gimmick. Scale of 1 to 10. How excited are you? Aussie Open versus MJF and Adam Cole.
Like a 7.
I'll agree with you there. Yeah, 7. I think.
Yeah, I'm not
Pretty
shitting
good,
my
yeah.
pants, but like it's gonna be cool. They're both
It's
so
gonna be
good.
cool.
You know.
Agreed. Yeah. Adam Cole versus MJF, the main event, on a scale of 1 to 10.
It's
How
like a
much are you looking forward
9.
to that? Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
It's not like Kota Ibushi's here, but it is like
well.
Kota Ibushi is here, but like
he will be there, but yeah.
you know what I mean. It's not
I know what
like
you mean.
but
Yeah.
I mean it's as high as you can get without some sort of special twist, and who knows, stuff can still happen.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna say 8, but the show might make me go 9 in the middle of it.
Yeah, it really depends.
I might get amped. Yeah.
This show I could really see it going either way, where I either get super amped or halfway through I'm like, bored.
Yeah, totally. The Bucks versus FTR on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm gonna go 9 for that one.
Yeah, just because our past matches were so good, and now Cash
And now
really got
there's-
something to prove.
Bang bang.
Oh my god, can I say something? So,
Mhm.
the reason I made the joke before about Diamante and our text and whatever is that I thought it was so funny that all this drama happened with Cash, and then her whole intro is her shooting a gun. And she comes out, first thing Collision, and it's like several times. She does it on the runway, she does it on the ropes, and I'm just like, oh girl, bad timing.
There's multiple gun sound effects in her entrance, and it's awesome.
She's so cool.
She
love
comes
her.
out with the mask. She didn't have the mask this time, but she used to have like the mask.
Yeah, no, her whole
the
thing is like,
handkerchief
I
mask.
will rob you, and
And I'm gonna rob you in a dark alley.
I'm gonna fucking kick your ass. But I just thought it was so funny, because, like, of course everyone was like, oh my god, are they gonna address this Cash Wheeler thing? And instead they just send her out who's like,
Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Diamante, Cash Wheeler, and the Guns in the upcoming Tarantino movie.
She
So-
is like a Rodriguez character, like straight
She is
up.
actually big,
Straight
big
up.
true. Yo, put her with Michelle Rodriguez, bro. Do a buddy cop,
I would watch
Robert
that
Rodriguez
right
buddy
now!
butt
Watch
chick
that
buddy
right
cop
now.
movie. That'd be amazing. So we have a coffin match. Darby Allin and Sting against Swerve Strickland, Air Fox. Now, Katie Rose, on a scale of 1 to 10. How excited are you to watch Air Fox get put in a fucking coffin?
Don't get me wrong. We love to see Sting hustling. He always looks great.
Mm-hmm.
I love the coffin gimmick. I'm gonna give this a 5.
That's more than fair, Katie. I'm gonna agree with you, actually. I'm gonna go 5 as
'cause
well.
I'm glad. Okay.
I
I'm
thought the
glad
angle where they home invaded Nick Wayne was great.
Right, and I'm glad that they're
That was
like
great.
giving AR Fox something to do,
Same.
but he hasn't quite. I have mixed feelings about Swerve Strickland, but at the end of the day, he's got a lot of energy and like you swag when he's like, cutting promos and stuff. Like, he's a showman. I'm not gonna take that away from him. But when you put him next to AR Fox, yes, he's dressed him up cool. Clearly Swerve took AR Fox shopping in his closet and dressed
Shine
him
him
up in some, awesome streetwear. But AR Fox doesn't know how to mean mug to save his life. He doesn't know how to, he just doesn't got it. So it's kind of funny because Swerve is out here being like, I'm the fucking meanest motherfucker on the planet. I'm gonna kick this child's ass in his own home. And AR Fox is like, yeah, and he's mean too. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that's what it's
The worst hype man ever. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. I'll put a pin in this one thing. Okay,
I'm sorry, not to rant more.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Just like my complaints about how, they kind of push. What's his name again? Nick.
Swerve. Oh, Nick Wayne.
Nick Wayne. Like how, I agree that this is an interesting kid to bring in, but it felt too forced. It's the same thing with AR Fox. Why are all of Darby's plot lines just shoehorned in with no build up? Because the whole thing with this is Darby's like, AR Fox, when I was homeless, you took me in, and you're like a mentor to me. And AR Fox is like, you never called me, and now I hate you, and now I'm bad, and it all happened in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And I just felt like, yeah, that's a great plot, but they once again just did nothing to build it up. It happened very suddenly, and I'm just I don't care.
Yeah. I feel you there, Katie. I would say, so I like that. I like AR Fox. He's like a guy I used to see live all the time, and I'm happy that he's got a TV gig. He's gonna be on Wembley wrestling Sting. But he doesn't have the charisma of the other people in this match. He simply does not. I like that he's Swerve's number 2 guy. Swerve has a black lead little fucking thing going on here. With,
it's
him
a black lead group, and then Brian Cage.
Yeah, and then Brian Cage is there too. But I agree with you there. Now I am interested. I have disagreed with you before about the Nick Wayne thing. I've enjoyed the way they use Nick Wayne so far. I've been very into it. Since
it's been rolling, I'm okay with it. I just initially didn't like how they launched it, but
Word.
I think he's gonna be I'm not mad about it. It just is interesting to me that when everything in pertaining to Darby seems they decided to do it that day or something. I don't know.
I think part of the problem is Darby's his rogues gallery. He's being spread out. Because he's also feuding with Christian and Luchasaurus while he's doing this. I mean, so he's got a lot. He's just got a lot of plates in the air. I think
I don't know. It's just, you got Sting and Swerve Strickland, who are charisma machines, and then you got Darby, who's like a moody sack of potatoes. I just don't get it. I know the kids love him.
Yeah.
Yo, truly though. Yeah. And I get the kids love him because he's a spooky skeleton and he comes on a skateboard. All the elements are things I should love. He used to come out to a fucking dystopia song. I should be obsessed with him.
He fell.
But it just don't work.
Katie, he can't sleep because his head's on fire. He'd rather feel pain but than nothing at all, Katie. Katie, all we are is broken glass. Playing the 3 Days Grace song at the end of the show, and she can't stop me. So... Sorry, I'm amusing myself too much.
Fine.
So, Darby... Oh, my question was, what's your things with Swerve? You said that you have mixed feelings about Swerve. What's the mixed part?
I just know
what's the not pro part?
He's hurt some people in the ring. And I've heard that he can, and I we said I try not to get too mixed up in behind the scenes stuff, but I've just heard, he's
you hear stuff you hear though.
But he's hurt a bunch of people.
Him and Ricky Starks had an issue last year.
Yeah, and Ricky Starks is my boy, and I just I just get the feeling that he's not the best worker. And I didn't, I didn't know a ton about him, and I've actually warmed up to him more recently. When he first came out, I'm I don't know about this shit.
Word. Interesting. Okay, yeah. Because I realize we haven't talked about that much on the show because I am pretty vehemently just pro Swerve.
Oh, if you're pro, I'm not. It's not it's not strong enough that I'm because actually, since he put on the fuzzy ski mask stuff, I've actually really come around on him and been enjoying him. But his first run, I was I don't know about this. Like,
you didn't enjoy Swerve in Our Glory, the tag team, him and Keith Lee, or you were just more in it for Keith Lee. You were like
that at all. I was like, free Keith Lee. And also, Keith, why did you I know you're trying to be a wizard, but the silver hair looks gray, and now you look like an old man, and I love you, but don't do that.
He turned it back.
I know he did. He got my email. Yeah. I'm sure it was me. Yeah.
I think I appreciate him. I think he was trying to, like, own it. He's like, I'm going to come out with the white hair and just, like, own. Yeah,
he's a weeb, so older. I'm sure he was just doing something.
He's like, I'm going to be like a sensei. But, and I think TK was like, you get one chance. And after that, if everyone says stop doing it, which we did, you have to stop.
He uses as a point why my wrestling opinions are the best, because I give people chances, you know?
Like, totally.
I said, I thought I didn't like Swerve when he first came out, but, like, in the last, like, few months, like, I've actually really enjoyed all the stuff he's been doing. And that's why the AR Fox thing is so funny to me, because he's so charismatic, and AR Fox is just kind of, like, not quite baked yet in that, you know.
Yeah.
But I think he'll figure it out, you know.
Yeah. Jeff Cobb, Nick Wayne. You come around on people.
I do come around. I love Jeff Cobb. Exactly. Where he first came out, like, this flat earth motherfucking potato. And now he's like my boy. I'm always excited to see him.
I wish he would put on a mask and eat people instead. That was way cooler.
I mean,
when he was the owner's brother eating people. I mean, it wasn't not cool.
That's what AEW is missing. Just, like, actual kayfabe cannibalism.
Cannibalism?
Have that shark come back and eat Taz.
Yeah. No, not Taz. And then Hook has to fight him, obviously.
Yeah.
Hook versus a shark.
Book it! Shark Week next year. Hook fights an actual shark.
Hook's gonna suplex a shark into a cage. Hook versus a shark inside a cage, underwater. So, we have a goated trios match here, Katie Rose Leon.
Yeah.
We have, check out this star power, we have Hangman Adam Page, Kota Ibushi, Kenny Omega, versus Konosuke Takeshita, Jay White.
Yes.
And Juice is also there. But so we have 5 main eventers, and the honeycomb guy. It's gonna be great, Katie.
The thing is, Takeshita being in this mix is the most exciting part for me. Because, as we've said before, you know, Jay White, fucking Juice Robinson, Kota, Hangman, and Kenny were all New Japan guys. And New Japan is, like, super up its own ass about its competitor, DDT. So I never thought I'd ever see this. This is gonna be so lit, and also everyone in this match is so talented. As long as, you know, Kota drank his water that week and didn't get lost in the airport, I think we're good. Like,
yeah, yes.
And you know what? Even Juice can wrestle, even though I like to dunk on him.
Yeah,
even Juice can turn a match out. Okay, like he was really there with the best of them, even though when he was in New Japan, he looked like a fucking Florida rave clown.
Jesus Christ. Wow, my man's character's been assassinated.
Well, that's why I always was like, what is this? But then when I saw New Japan the first time they came to New York and did Madison Square Garden, he did literally appear in a dumpster. And I was like, that's when I first was like, you know what, Juice Robinson, you're alright.
That's what it takes to win over KRL.
Yeah, just show up in a trash can. You'll have a fan for life.
Juice to me has, like, a similar appeal. Okay, but alright, I'm gonna say something, but let me finish.
Okay.
A similar appeal to Yoshihashi, but he's better. Because Juice in New Japan was like, man, I'm just a regular, average guy in here with the best wrestlers on the planet. And like, but I got this left fist though. If I can hit him in the face, maybe I could beat the top guys. It's like, you're not gonna, Juice. You're not ever gonna punch Kenny Omega or Okada in the fucking face. But go ahead and try. And to me, that was his appeal. Was like, he was like the guy who's gonna do his best, but he wasn't as good as everybody else. But he had more charisma than Yoshihashi.
He has way more charisma, and that's in that Florida KJ type of way.
Yeah. He's been a great also, like, I mean, he was a quarter of those FTR Bullet Club Gold matches that were so really.
Well, that's the
really
thing.
great.
Like, since he came over to AEW, I'm like, this is like the perfect spot for him. And Jay White is so good. I'm glad they're getting.
Megastar.
I mean, this is probably the match for me of the night that I'm looking forward to. Like,
yeah. So we went 5 on the coffin match. For this one, I'm gonna go 9, baby.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I almost want to say 10, but that seems like setting expectations too high, so I'm going to say 9. Because I don't want to hurt my own feelings.
Yeah. Keep it tempered, Katie. Keep it cool.
Yeah.
Be a cactus.
I don't know which coda we're getting, you know?
So, I gotta be honest with you. You know what? Let me temper your expectations a little bit more, Katie.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure about coda. I gotta be honest with you.
I agree, because when he first showed back up, I'm like, Coda, you're on Western television, baby. Get it together.
Yeah. He looked a little...
I think he's depressed.
Bloated?
I think he's depressed. I think a lot of our top guys in New Japan, straight up, when they're at their peak, have eating disorders. And when they're set loose, they don't know what to do. And I'm not even trying to be mean, but you have seen Tanahashi's weight fluctuate as much as I have, and it's concerning. From just a purely health... I don't care if you're big or a little guy, you know what I mean? Just be healthy, is what I'm saying. Also, like to remind you that when Kota left New Japan, he posted that picture of himself where he looked like he had his dick out. Like,
yes, he did.
So I think he's just gone a little cuckoo bananas, you know what I mean?
Gone.
For a technical term.
He's gone cuckoo the way that, like, the fox... Not like a fox, but rather the way your grandma... Like, when your grandma gets old enough, she just stops giving a fuck.
Yeah. He's gone a little loosey-goosey with it. And I believe in him still, but I mean, you hear what I'm saying. I've tempered myself. I'm just happy to see him.
Yeah, again, there's not like a body shame type of thing, but when he showed up in the Indies, he was like in WrestleMania weekend, he looked just a little off, like his body was like a little wonky or whatever. He looked better in the big cage match gimmick, Blood and Guts. But he didn't look 100% Kota though. No. I think maybe the new environment with AEW, hopefully being back with Kenny, will help him mentally. But you never know. I know that he had like his. I know
him being there got Kenny to get his shit together. Did you see that Kenny went and put his real pants on because Kota Ibushi was in town? I'm like, I see what it is. I'm not good enough to put your real pants on for.
Kota gets the real pants, baby.
Kota gets the real pants.
Yeah. Katie, now I don't... So, let's look... Can we... a little detour here for Hangman Adam Page.
Okay.
He's earned it.
Yeah.
He's the number one in my heart and mind still.
Yeah.
Has he been de-emphasized a little bit recently?
1,000%. And
Are we okay with this?
No. I think he's a...
okay.
I think he's a star.
Agreed.
I don't really understand why he's been de-emphasized. I mean, for all we know, maybe he just like he has kids and like who knows.
Well, he was in a big faction war, right?
Yeah, like he also seems like a team player. Like maybe he's just like like how like Britt wanted to step down as being women's champ for a while to give other women a chance to shine. Like maybe he wanted to do that. But at the end of the day, I really think that he should be like what you think of when you think of AEW, right? Like,
Agreed.
You know how every company has like their baby face superstar? Okada. Yeah, that's who.
Josh Alexander.
Yeah, that's what he should be. He's good looking. Agreed. He's a great wrestler. He's great on the mic. Everyone loves him except for CM Punk for some fucking reason, and honestly, I think that's why, is because he's the total package and he's like really insecure. You know what I mean? Like, I just think he's like the guy, you know?
Agreed.
He's so easy to root for.
Yep.
And if you're new to wrestling, which is really who wrestling should be trying to get into it, especially AEW, he is instantly recognizable as like, oh, blonde cowboy, good guy. I clap for him. Like,
Yeah.
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I completely agree with you 100%, Katie. There's a YouTube video, I don't remember who it is, but you can find it if you just YouTube. I think it's why Hangman Page is the perfect millennial hero. And it's just about why our anxious millennial cowboy is a beautiful hero for millennials. And personally, Katie, my entire wrestling fandom life, back when I was a little boy watching Dwayne Johnson on the big TV get beat up after talking a lot of shit. The Rock always got his ass kicked, by the way.
Yes.
He would talk a lot of shit and then get his ass kicked, and it was awesome. I mean, now like I get the psychology of it, and I love it. But as a kid, I was like, my man talked all this shit, he's getting his ass kicked again every week. He came out here like, fuck everybody, I'm the best, and then he got jumped. But all the way back then, I was like, when is there ever going to be a wrestler who just doesn't believe in themselves? Because like every pro wrestler, all these men come out here full of bravado. I'm gonna win. Like you're like literally a mid-carder being like, I'm gonna beat The Rock today.
Right.
It's like, no, you're not. Dean Malenko. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, why would you even say that? We all know that's not gonna happen. And Hangman Page was to me the first wrestler to be like, man, I don't know if I can beat Kenny. It's like, bro, you like beat everybody. Why couldn't you beat Kenny?
Yeah.
You can beat everyone else.
Relatable.
Just believe in yourself, bro. Yes.
And it's actually like a really interesting angle because like literally no one else was doing it. And
yes, that's what I loved
even
about it.
when his thing was like, I don't know who my friends are, which is like a very standard wrestling arc. It's like, even when he had his friendship breakup with the like Dark Order, it wasn't like dramatic. It was just like, oh, people just grow apart.
I know. Yeah, I know. It's interesting.
It's like
I'm wondering what's going to happen with the Dark Order.
I feel really bad for them because they were in an impossible situation, and I don't know. They're gonna obviously break them up and make them into other things, but it's like I feel bad because they almost feel like holdovers from the company launch now, and
they do.
Once again, it's not their fault. I think they gotta do like what they did with Chris Statlander when she came back, where they just come back as a new thing and nobody addresses it. You know what I mean? They're just like
It's rough with Brody Jr. though, the whole -1 thing. It's rough. But the thing is they could still do it and just wait 8 years till this kid grows up and then he brings the Dark Order back or whatever. It's like, I'm reforming the Dark Order at 18 years old or whatever. But anyway, I agree with you. John Silver is one of the most beloved wrestlers in the company. But like, it's a couple of my friends were like, remember the 4-way pillars match with MJF? Remember we talking about?
Yeah, why wasn't he in that?
So like, it's like we were talking about how like that feud wasn't that great, and my friend was like, I'd way rather watch John Silver wrestle MJF than Jungle Boy or Sammy Guevara.
Yeah.
And
First of all, he could talk.
Hard to disagree.
He's instantly over because he's so stocky and short, but he like brings the heat.
He's got a certain
he's been
to him.
He's been there as long as those guys.
Yeah, he's an OG. Yeah,
Christian should adopt him too. I'm like, I would love
Father
that.
of the Year. Yeah.
Oh my God, Father of the Year.
Cage.
That's the thing about Collision, man, is I don't want to like it because of the CM Punk of it all. But as I said, I love how they're booking it for the most part, and they have something that AEW was missing, which is a classic heel commentator, and we get that with Nigel. And we get for real commentary with Nigel and Kevin Kelly, because no offense to the Taz and Xavier podcast, it's my favorite thing. I hope it never changes. It is not normal wrestling commentary. They can't hold it together for more than 10 minutes.
Excalibur and Taz, I love them, but you're right. It's interesting, like, I think Kevin Kelly is the perfect babyface announcer to play off a real heel announcer, which is what Nigel is. Where Taz is like heel announcer, but like
Kevin Kelly is the hardest working man in show business.
Bro, he finished the G1 and came right back.
On a plane. He did non-stop announcing for like 2 months and then got on a plane to the United States of America to to announce a CM Punk shit fit. Like, that's crazy to me.
But, by the way, not only did he have to do all those G1 shows in English, the G1 shows are hard to announce because, now he has, like, people that work with him, like stat people or whatever, but he has to be on top of all these stats every fucking show. Like, who's still in the bracket, who's ahead, who's got what points. Like, that's not normal commentating.
Queens,
He's, like,
baby.
math.
Number 1, Kevin Pelly. Let's go, Mets. You can fucking quote me on that.
I don't know if we've ever talked about this, Katie, another minor tangent here, but Kevin Kelly almost took over Ring of Honor back in the day. He made a power play, Game of Thrones style, but he got rebuffed, which actually I think is for the best.
In the long run, but
in the long run.
Bless him for trying. Yeah,
he was trying to, and the thing is, I'll be honest with you, I don't think he could have saved Ring of Honor anyway.
No.
He was trying to turn, I don't know what his plans were,
but
but I don't
have
think
more
he would've
money
saved
than
it.
God, so I feel like they were the only people that could really turn that around.
Yeah, agreed, yeah. So, Hangman, I still believe Hangman will be the one to dethrone MJF at Full Gear. I still believe that. I've been saying that since MJF won the title, that Hangman would dethrone him in 1 year's time at the next Full Gear, so
hopefully
I still believe it.
Something happens.
We'll see. The other thing on the docket here, Stadium Stampede, the best friends, Orange Cassidy, Trent, and Chucky T, and Eddie Kingston, and the Lucha Bros, Pentagon and Phoenix, versus the Blackpool Combat Club and 3 mystery people. Now, Katie, who are these mystery people?
I don't know. I was looking at the silhouettes because AEW is so stupid, and they definitely like are showing who they are. Because like someone's got braids, I think. And then someone's bald. But I don't know. That could change. I don't know. This is already an insane thing. I love Stadium Stampede because then, you know, people are going to be spraying mustard on each other and doing stupid shit that I live for.
In a Wembley. A Stadium Stampede in a Wembley, Katie.
Which is like Guy Norman's. And I hope there's an English guy like, oh my, and that's like, and just like the best friends side of this team is already so ridiculously unhinged. Like, why are any of these people together?
All their hinges have been uninstalled.
Like, I know Eddie
without hinges.
and the Lucha Brothers kind of have history, and I like that they're just like, these are all
best friend
guys that they like, so
sure,
put them all together.
Eddie Kingston on the same team with Orange Cassidy
it's so funny.
Is like fucking, it's 2023, baby. That's all I can say. It's 2023. Yeah, so
do you think they're gonna be British people?
Okay, so so I've noticed a severe lack of Zack Sabre Jr. on this show. And I think that is strange.
That would be so sick, and he would totally be on the Black Combat Club, Blackpool. They didn't.
BCC.
William Ringgold is not even in this company anymore. Can you guys give me an easier thing to say?
Team Moxley. Hey. Zack Sabre Jr. and then TMDK?
Ooh, that would be sick. I would clap and yell and be like, hooray.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. I have a scoop here, though, Katie Rose. And again, take this with a grain of salt because it is a scoop of vanilla.
Scoop, there it is.
Katie Rose, are you aware of the team formerly known as... I forgot what they were formerly known as. Give me 1 second. Hold on. No. Are you aware of the Puerto Ricans known as Santana and Ortiz?
Bronx finest?
Yeah.
The breakup heard around the world for Santana Ortiz and then Jesus and Mero. I'm like, isn't there any fucking Hispanic best friends from New York that I could trust anymore?
Me and Benel, baby, until I take his head off with a layered from behind again. Like I did in 2021.
I would be sincerely very excited for that because I'm an old school fan of theirs. I loved them when they were LAX. Like,
Yeah, LAX. I couldn't remember.
Yeah. So, like...
I kept thinking LA Knight, Katie. I kept thinking LA Knight, and I'm like...
Why was LA Knight at a Mets game? Anyway.
Who fucking knows?
But,
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, I would be sincerely very psyched about that, and super surprised, because I haven't heard two shits about either of them since Ortiz kind of, like, faded out after the friend break, and I thought they, like, hated each other, so...
He got Back to the Future. Conspicuous by their absence. Absence.
That would make sense, because I saw curly hair on one of those silhouettes, I swear to fucking God. I'm like, that is not a white person silhouette.
I know you might be saying out there, but Santana Ortiz, those are only 2 men, not 3, Lawson, you idiot.
Yeah.
And to that I say, Homicide would be the third one.
Homicide.
Homicide.
And in 2023, we're bringing Homicide to Wembley?
Of our Lord, Katie Rose Leong. Again, I don't know this. I don't know this. Before everyone gets too excited.
Because that is so silly.
I don't know this. Here's what I do know. Homicide and Jon Moxley main evented the New Japan 4th of July show against Despy and Jun Kasai. So Homicide's been working. He's been working. He's the beast. He's there with he's been teaming with Moxley. He's been the guy.
Honestly.
And they've used Homicide before.
Honestly, if this is who it is, I would be delighted. Who else do I want to see running around? And I gotta say, the first...
Eddie Kingston's boys, also. Those are his
Because I gotta say, like, in the first ever Stadium Stampede, my favorite spot was when Santana and Ortiz dunked Matt Hardy into that mini jacuzzi and goes, "He's dead! We killed him! He's dead!" I'm like, This is the greatest spot of wrestling I've ever seen.
Did he transform after that? Because he transforms with water, right?
Yes.
Did he come out as a different Matt? Okay,
yes.
Thank you. I thought that's what happened. I wasn't sure from my memory served. Okay, yeah.
But and also, I love the biggest wrestling event in world history, and we got the biggest star in America, Homicide. A dude who I watched wrestle in a gymnasium in Brooklyn.
Yeah, it's listen again. I don't know for sure, but
if you're right, I'm not mad about it. It's hilarious and seems very random, but I would be like, you know what? Let's go.
But the drama, Katie Rose, Eddie Kingston's mans. Santana Ortiz and Homicide, those are all
and you would have to fight them. But then there would be a scene where, like, they would tee up and be like, oh, they love each other, but they gotta fight, and he would do that, like, I'm an emotional thug from Yonkers face, where he's like, and then they would kill each other, and I'd be like,
and then Pentagon would slap him in the face and be like, beat his ass, and then he'd be like, I'm getting him, brother, I'm getting him, and Phoenix would be like, you're not getting him enough.
Now, which Penta are we getting? Because he's been toting out Joker Penta all willy-nilly. I thought that was just for special occasions, but I guess not.
I think he got cucked by Joker Sting on the show last week. We got Sting.
We got too many Jokers. Y'all.
For the folks who have never seen Joker Sting before, let me tell you, Sting loves doing that shit. He loves doing Joker
Wrestlers
Sting.
love that shit.
Too much, probably. Probably too much, to be honest with you.
You know what? He gets a pass. He
does get a pass.
He's like 70 years old.
Yes, he is. And he's gonna dive off a balcony in Wembley, probably, because he's a crazy person. Steve Borden, a maniac. So, those are, I believe, all the matches we have announced thus far. I'm just gonna double check here, just to make sure, because, oh, okay, apparently... Oh, shit, I forgot about... Okay, my bad. So, Stadium Stampede, Katie Rose, how excited are you on a scale of...
Pretty fucking psyched about it. But because we don't know for sure with our Mystery Boys are, I'm gonna give it an 8.
I will go 7 for the same reason. Mm-hmm. Okay. My bad. Please don't cancel me for silencing women. I forgot about the women's wrestling. I forgot about it.
It's okay. Their division's a little messy right now.
Stop doing 4-ways. Fuck. Stop it.
Yeah.
Can I just get a singles match?
Yeah, it's like what? It's
God
like Tony, Saraya, Sheeta, and Britt.
Britt, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, cool.
I mean,
but I wish if they wanted to get everyone on there, why not 2 women's matches? Imagine that.
Imagine that, Katie Rose.
Imagine 2 women's matches. One that could be a tag team or something, and a singles. Or just 2 singles even. Wow. Yeah. Same amount of women!
We're probably gonna get a Chris Statlander gimmick on the pre-show, maybe, like a tag with Willow.
It's not the
against
point.
Mercedes, maybe.
Come on, guys.
No, I know. I'm not defending it.
The one thing that AEW really kind of annoys me with is that they just, like, you got these people working their asses off. Come on. Let's fucking do it.
So, they have to get Saraya on the show. Now, here's the thing.
I'm scared.
I know. You know. And Tony Khan knows. Saraya's washed, okay? She's washed.
Yeah.
This man trusts her so little that he gave her this match with Sky Blue, so she had to win it to get to the thing. Then they had a tag match the next week. She's not in the tag match. She's never in the tag matches. Tony Khan doesn't trust Saraya to wrestle her way out of a paper bag, and I don't necessarily blame him.
Well, and I don't think it's that she's washed so much. I think it's dangerous for her to do it. She has, like... She's
coming off a broken neck. That is a serious thing.
Like, I don't want to see her wrestle because I like her alive.
That's
kind of how I feel about it. And she probably is out of it. I really like her. I'm glad she's on the show. It was a big fuck
I like her as a
you
personality.
to WWE.
Agreed, yeah. But, I like her as a personality.
I don't... She should be in the match.
Yeah.
Also, I love how Sky Blue, like, anytime they announce Sky Blue, I'm like, oh, who are they trying to put over? They're putting this teenager out here to get squashed by an adult woman.
Hey, I'll have Sky Blue is 2 of my friends' favorite wrestlers.
I know, you tell me that.
For reasons.
For
reasons.
Uh-huh.
And they also, they hate Kyle Fletcher, and it has nothing to do with the fact that they hooked up. And they definitely didn't.
I love a butt in fishnets as much as the next bisexual, okay? I'm just saying, my wife, Jamie Hayter, is out she's out. So now you know.
I also wasn't smart enough to the fact that she has a Patreon with tiers. And, you know what? If you didn't know that, now you know that. Good luck out there. Be safe. Work safe. Sky Blue's Patreon does pretty well, as you might expect, but also does pretty well.
I did not know that. My opinion on her is completely changed forever. In a positive way. I want to make that clear.
Yeah.
A positive opinion.
She's getting that bag. He's 22 years old and she's out there, bro.
I respect it, honestly. Like, truly.
Yeah.
As someone who is super broke, I say, I support you, sis.
Do it. Yeah. She's out there. Well, those are women's match, I'm gonna go 5.
5 too. I mean, don't get me wrong, I respect all these women, but it's just
talented
like,
there,
why is this a 4-way?
Yeah.
It just seems kind of like a fuck you to all of them, honestly.
It's just like we gotta get everyone on the show or whatever, but yeah. And it's like we have to get Saraya on the show specifically because it's Wembley and she's British. But honestly, overall a pretty good card, but again, not an amazing all-time card.
We will have
but
fun.
A good card. It's gonna be a fun show.
I
expect the show will deliver. The show will deliver for sure. For sure, 7 years ago, Katie Rose, and this light is killing me now. We're gonna wrap it up here.
Yeah, I know. Like, it got actually dark in my room, and now my ring light's not bright enough.
Yeah. We'll be back with the Wembley review and the All Out preview next week.
Yeah.
And until then, happy wrestling, everybody. Bye.
I'm not so smart or experienced. Here, take my heart Consider yourself unconditionally loved. 'Cause we will make mistakes. We are only human. I will love you anyway. I may kick and scream, try and pull you down with me, 'cause you love me anyway. I wish I knew a thing about love, love, love. I wish I knew a thing about love, 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 love. Well, maybe the right one will come along. We won't have to fight about how you're right and I'm wrong. But baby, I don't feel like waiting that long. So consider yourself unconditionally loved. And we will make mistakes. We are only human. I will love you anyway. I will kiss your eyes. I will read you stories. I will love you anyway. I wish I knew a thing about love, love, love. I wish I knew a thing about love, 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 love. So what, you're holding me back from what I wanted to be. I'm making up for the lack by giving you every little bit of me. And I will never look back at what you did not do for me. And you could have my songs, you could steal my glory. I will love you anyway. I wish I knew a thing about love, love, love. I wish I knew a thing about love.